It's the 1st of January. Let's move away from the markets and on to politics. My next guest may not be a frontrunner to win the presidential race, but Wayne Allyn Root declared his candidacy to become the presidential candidate for the Libertarian Party's nominations back in May. He's also in London today for Bet Brokers earnings as he holds a stake in the company. Wayne Allyn Root joins me now. Wayne Allyn, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Wayne Allyn or Wayne?
Wayne's good.
Okay.
And by the way, my career started as an anchor man and host for CNBC America.
So you know all the nonsense that we go through.
I do. I feel like I'm back home again.
Well, welcome. Wayne, you'll pardon me for saying this, but when I saw that you were coming on, I had no idea who you were.
Okay.
And I asked in the newsroom, has anybody heard of this chap? Nobody had heard of you.
That's a good thing.
I've subsequently asked some friends as well. Nobody's heard of you.
That's a good thing.
Who are you, Wayne?
Well, I'm an outsider. I'm not a Washington, D.C. guy. I'm a small businessman. I like to call myself an SOB, a son of a butcher. And, I think I'm an example of what makes America great. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a guy who puts up his own money, risks his own money to start a business, creates jobs, willing to put his money on the line, pays payroll taxes, pays health insurance for his employees. Everybody running for president in America is a symbol of big business. George Bush, spoiled brat. Mitt Romney, spoiled brat, father with millions of dollars. They're not self-made. They don't own small businesses. And today in America, small business drives the American economy. What we need now is a politician who understands small business, knows how to get government out of the way, knows how to get rid of regulations that impede the success of small businessmen, and wants to fight for the common guy and gal out there. There's nobody like that when you look at Hillary Clinton, when you look at John McCain, Mitt Romney, Rudy Giuliani, the front runners, Barack Obama, my college classmate, Columbia University, class of '83. They're all people that want to make government bigger. I want to make government smaller. I want to lower taxes. I want to get rid of the bureaucrats. I want to keep things simplified so that small business has a chance to succeed. That's what makes the American economy go.
Small business is one element, and I would assume that the candidates that you just mentioned, that they would beg to differ as well if they were here. But
well, Republicans would claim they stand for the same thing. They talk a good game, but they don't walk the good walk. They claim they want smaller government, but George Bush has expanded government more than any president in the history of America.
I mean, you are a staunch Republican, though, at the same time as being a Republican libertarian.
Well, I was, but the Republican Party left me. I didn't leave it. I was a lifelong Republican, big contributor to the party, and a future candidate, senatorial candidate for the party, and decided to leave it because I felt it was no longer addressing the needs of small businessmen, and most of all, I thought it was becoming too much of a religious party. You know, the Republican Party fiscally is still conservative, but socially, it's a big government party that wants to tell women what to do with their own bodies, wants to snoop into people's bedrooms to find out if they're gay or straight. They banned online gambling, something that's very important to me. Being in the gambling business, I found that offensive and a violation of my rights. So I'm someone who's fiscally conservative, socially tolerant, and liberal. You don't find that in either of the two American big parties, Republican or Democrat.
See, I was looking through some of the books that you've written as well, and you've written The Millionaire Republican: Why Rich Republicans Get Rich and How You Can Too. A number of other books also, The Joy of Failure: How to Turn Failure, Rejection, and Pain into Extraordinary Success, and The Zen of Gambling: The Ultimate Guide to Risking It All and Winning at Life. I mean, this to me doesn't quite sound like your typical presidential talk. It sounds like a little bit of psychology, pop psychology maybe, and also it sounds like someone who just wants to get rich.
I'm very glad that you think I'm different, because that's what America needs right now. The same people with the same MO, the same background, have been running America, and they've run us into the ground. The fact is, we're a nation that's heavily in debt. The fact is, we're heavily overtaxed and overregulated. The spending is out of control. And I think it's about time that a small businessman who thinks positive, I'm definitely a motivator, a positive thinker, has a chance to be a man that will make a difference and reduce the size of government and give people more freedom and less taxes. Just get out of the way. That's what it's all about.
Well, just briefly, I mean, you also talk about red states and blue states,
yes,
and how red states are essentially places where small business thrives, the government, yes, is smaller, taxes are lower, the church is very present. Blue states will continue to lose in terms of jobs, government, right, funding, electoral votes. But at the same time, you also, you're a very strong supporter of gun rights. You want to lower taxes and you want more freedom for the individual. Mm-hmm. Isn't it then obvious why you have red states and blue states? If those are the things that you support?
Well, you know what's interesting? I'm not sure if Europeans understand the magnitude of America with its 50 states. It's like 50 countries, and each one is an individual with different rights and different views and different laws. 8 million Americans moved last year. 8 million got up and moved from one state to another. And almost every one of them moved from a high-tax blue state, meaning a Democrat state, Hillary Clinton's party, to a low-tax red state. And the reason why is because taxes are lower, because freedom is higher. Don't you have
to do something about the blue states then? Don't you have to help the people in the blue states so America precisely doesn't tip over and everybody goes blue?
Well, I'm someone who believes the way you help people is you get government out of the way. Government's always wrong. It's not the answer. Look at Hurricane Katrina. Did government help people? Look at the hospital scandal, Walter Reed. For those who don't understand here, every time government gets involved in something in America, it finds a way to screw it up. I think the people do a better job. I think charity does a better job than handing out government welfare to people. All government welfare does is basically play Robin Hood, take away from the rich to give to the poor. And you know what? No matter how you paint that, it's still robbery.
Wayne, I would, just for the sake of playing devil's advocate, love to argue with you for the next 12 hours. I have to leave it here because markets, they've got their own life today. Wayne, thank you. Wayne Allyn, Root presidential candidate. We need to move on and talk about our markets, talk about our technical trade.